All right, welcome back, everyone. We are finally here
Here we are.
at Book 12 of Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, the grand finale.
The big one.
Yeah, after our philosophical journey
It is.
through all 12 books. So, I mean, we've talked about a lot, right?
Yeah.
Virtue and reason and nature and impermanence. Oh, and of course,
Don't forget the olives.
the olives. How can I? They're practically our
They're our mascots.
yeah, mascots for Stoicism at this point.
For sure.
But Book 12, it feels different.
It does, yeah.
Like Marcus is kind of wrapping things up here, revisiting some familiar.
Here's summation.
Yeah, yeah, revisiting some familiar Stoic ideas, and even
Getting ready for the
yeah,
the end.
the end.
Yeah.
And I think what's interesting here is how Stoicism approaches death, right? Not really with this fear,
Right.
but with acceptance and maybe even a little bit of humor. It's kind of a unique perspective, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's like, Marcus Aurelius staring death right in the face and and just saying, "Not today."
Yeah.
He gets it. He understands death is, it's just a natural part of life. It's like the changing seasons.
Mm.
And instead of, fearing it, he's like, "Hey, just accept it." But the crucial thing here is
Yeah.
this acceptance. It isn't about, giving up. It's more about understanding where we fit in the grand scheme of things.
So it sounds like what you're saying is accepting death isn't um, about just kind of passively waiting for the end. It's about understanding that endings are natural.
Yeah.
They happen. They happen all the time.
Big and small.
Big and small, exactly. And that by accepting that we can then focus on really living more fully in the present moment.
You got it. And that's where this idea of indifference to externals comes in. That's a core Stoic principle. It's a tough one.
It is, yeah.
But basically what it means is we can't control everything that happens to us.
Yeah.
But what we can control is how we react to those events.
Okay.
So instead of getting, all caught up in things we can't change, like death, we can focus our energy on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, our choices.
It's funny because when I first heard about this indifference to externals,
Yeah.
it sounded a little
Cold.
Yeah. Like we were just supposed to shut off all our emotions,
Right.
become robots or something.
Right.
But what you're saying is it's more nuanced than that.
Oh, yeah, much more.
It's about realizing that our energy is better spent focusing on our internal responses to what happens,
Yes.
rather than trying to control every external event.
That's a fantastic way to put it. Stoicism doesn't, it doesn't tell us to be emotionless.
Okay.
It encourages us to use our reason, our logic,
Yeah.
to examine our emotions, to understand, why we react the way we do, and then choose how we want to respond.
So like with death, for example, instead of letting, fear just paralyze us,
Yeah.
we can choose to accept it
Yeah.
as a natural part of life,
Right.
and focus our energy on living virtuously in the time that we have left. So in a way, it's like accepting death can actually make our lives more meaningful.
It can, absolutely.
Because we realize that our time is finite.
Yes.
And we appreciate each moment more, and we strive to really live
Yeah.
in accordance with our values. It's like he's saying, hey, you're going to die someday, so stop wasting time and make the most of your life.
That's it. That's it exactly. And that's why he spends so much time in Book 12 and throughout all of Meditations really emphasizing the importance of virtue. Okay? For Stoics, virtue it's the ultimate good.
So it's not enough to just accept death intellectually.
Absolutely not. No.
We also need to really live
it.
yeah, in a way that reflects that understanding, right?
Absolutely.
And for Stoics, that means focusing on virtue. Now, can you remind me what virtue means in this context?
Yeah.
It's not just about being good, right?
Right. It goes beyond just, simple goodness
Okay.
in Stoicism. It's about living in accordance with nature and with reason,
Okay.
striving for excellence in everything we do and contributing to the common good. It involves wisdom and justice and courage and temperance, all these qualities that kind of
Yeah.
help us navigate,
The tough stuff.
the ups and downs of life.
Yeah, so it sounds like virtue is kind of this guiding principle for Stoics.
It is.
Like a North Star to aim for in our thoughts and actions.
Exactly.
And instead of, getting caught up in things we can't control, we can focus on developing these virtues and living a life that's meaningful and fulfilling.
That's it. That's it. And it's,
Yeah.
it's always within our reach, no matter what's going on around us.
Yeah.
Even in the face of death, we can choose to act virtuously. It's a pretty powerful message, don't you think?
It is powerful. And I'm curious to see how Marcus Aurelius kind of ties all of this together.
Yeah.
In these final reflections. He uses some pretty vivid language
He does.
to kind of drive home this point about how we should be spending our time.
Oh, yeah. He uses this powerful analogy, compares life to a play, like a play with different acts.
Okay.
And he says, in a little time, that will be nobody and nowhere, like Hadrian and Augustus.
Wow.
It's a stark reminder, even the most powerful emperors,
Yeah.
eventually they fade.
Yeah.
Their lives just become another story in history.
It makes you think, if even emperors
Yeah.
eventually become nobody and nowhere, what does that mean for the rest of us?
That is the question. And it brings us to the very heart of what Marcus Aurelius is trying to say in this last book.
Okay.
He wants us to understand that our time is precious and that we shouldn't waste it
Okay.
on things that don't really matter. He wants us to focus on what's truly essential, living a virtuous life and contributing to the common good.
And that focus on virtue.
Yes.
That ties back to that idea of accepting death. Right?
Yes.
If we're living in accordance with our values and striving to make a positive impact on the world, then we don't need to fear death. We can embrace it as a natural part of the cycle of life.
That's a great insight. And it's a reminder that, even though this book deals with some heavy stuff,
Yeah.
death, impermanence, all that,
Yeah.
ultimately it's a message of hope.
Okay.
And empowerment. It's about recognizing that we have the power to choose how we want to live,
Right.
even in the face of our own morality.
So we've talked about the importance of accepting death.
We have.
And the power of focusing on virtue, and this idea of indifference to externals.
Yeah.
And it seems like Marcus Aurelius is really emphasizing this power that we have over our own minds, right?
Yeah.
Especially in the face of things that we can't control.
Absolutely. He really wants us to understand that our thoughts and perceptions shape our reality.
Right.
So by choosing to focus on what we can control, like our own virtue, we can live more fulfilling lives.
It reminds me of that quote where he says, "Trouble not thyself about the whole course of thy life."
Yeah, great one.
He's urging us to really focus on the present moment rather than, getting bogged down by all the worries about the past or the future.
Right. And he goes on to say, nor let thy thoughts at once embrace all the various troubles which may possibly befall thee, but ask thyself in every present instance, what is there in this which is intolerable and past bearing?
Wow.
It's a reminder, we often create unnecessary suffering
Yeah.
for ourselves just by
dwelling on
things that haven't even happened.
Right.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to, control everything in our lives,
Yeah.
we can focus on managing our reactions to the things that come our way.
Exactly.
And this all ties back to that concept of indifference to externals,
Yeah,
right?
it does.
It's about recognizing
Yeah.
that we can't control the universe,
Right.
but we can control how we respond to it.
Yes.
And it's not about, apathy or just being indifferent.
No.
It's about really using our reason to navigate all the ups and downs of life.
Right.
With a sense of calmness and clarity.
Exactly. And that's a powerful message, especially today,
Yeah.
where we're just constantly
Bombarded.
yeah, with information distractions.
Yeah.
Stoicism offers this this way to find peace amidst all the chaos,
Mhm.
to focus on what really matters, and to live a life of purpose and meaning.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It's interesting how Marcus Aurelius just keeps coming back to this idea of focusing on what we can control,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to our own, our thoughts and our reaction.
Yeah, it's really important. It's at the heart of Stoic practice,
It really is.
The Stoics, they weren't just, philosophers sitting around thinking about this stuff. They were
Right.
they were really concerned with how these principles could actually be applied to daily life,
Yeah, yeah, and not just in good times, but
especially.
yeah, in the face of challenges and even death.
I,
And it's not just about, intellectualizing these ideas.
no, not at all.
He gives us very specific advice on how to actually put these principles into practice.
He does. He does. He
Oh,
doesn't just say, accept death or focus on virtue. He gives us like practical exercises,
okay.
thought experiments to kind of train our minds,
Okay.
develop these Stoic habits.
So it's like he's giving us a mental workout routine
Yeah.
to build up our stoic muscles so that we can
Yes.
face life's challenges with more resilience.
I like that mental workout.
Yeah. What are some examples of these practical exercises?
Well, one of the most powerful ones is what's called negative visualization.
Okay.
It sounds a little counterintuitive,
It does.
but basically it involves imagining the worst case scenario.
So instead of just, telling ourselves don't worry about it, we actually spend time
Yeah.
thinking about what we might lose. That seems like it would make things more stressful.
It might seem that way at first, but the idea is, by confronting our fears head on, by imagining the worst possible outcome.
We can actually.
Yeah, we diminish their power over us.
Okay.
We start to see that even if, the worst were to happen, we'd still be okay.
Okay.
We'd find a way forward.
So it's a way of preparing ourselves mentally and emotionally
Yes.
for whatever might come.
With the unknowns.
Yeah, and by acknowledging that possibility of loss,
Mm-hmm.
we can actually develop a greater appreciation
Yeah.
for what we have in the present moment.
That's exactly it.
It also kind of helps us put things into perspective, right?
It does. A lot of times the things we worry about, they're not really that catastrophic.
Yeah.
But by visualizing the worst, we can gain a clear understanding of,
Okay.
what really matters.
What's important?
What's worth holding on to and what we can let go of.
It reminds me of that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
It's not about, seeking out hardship.
No.
It's about recognizing that challenges,
They happen.
they happen.
Yeah.
They're inevitable, and we can use those as opportunities to grow.
And that's where the Stoic emphasis on virtue really comes in. Remember, virtue is the ultimate good.
Right.
It's about aligning our actions with reason and nature,
Okay.
striving for excellence in everything we do, and contributing to the common good.
So even when we're facing these difficult circumstances,
Yeah.
even when things are kind of falling apart around us, we can still choose to
We always have a choice.
okay,
Yeah.
to act virtuously.
To act virtuously.
It's like having this inner compass
Yeah, beautiful.
that guides us through all the storms of life.
Yes, exactly. And that's what Book 12 is all about.
Okay.
It's this profound guidance. Marcus Aurelius is reminding us, no matter what's happening,
Yeah.
externally, we always have the power to choose
Okay.
how we respond.
Our response.
We can react with anger or fear or resentment,
Yeah.
or we can choose to respond with wisdom, with courage, with justice, with temperance.
So it sounds like what you're saying is Stoicism isn't about
Yeah.
becoming some kind of emotionless robot.
No.
It's about recognizing
Recognizing
that we have emotions,
we do. We all do.
but we don't have to be ruled by them.
We don't. We have a choice.
We can choose to respond to those emotions in a way that aligns with our values, and that brings you closer to
Virtue.
virtue. Yeah.
You got it. That's it. Stoicism is about cultivating this inner peace, this inner strength
Okay.
that allows us to navigate all the challenges of life with grace and resilience.
So going back to book 12, are there any other practical techniques or exercises that Marcus Aurelius offers
Oh yeah. There's
that help us kind of develop this stoic mindset?
well, one that really stands out to me is he says, "Set before thy eyes whole dramas and stages as the same form as thou hast experienced, from thy own life or from history."
So he's talking about reflecting on our past experiences, right?
It is.
Like looking back at the challenges that we've already overcome
Yeah.
and recognizing that we've made it through tough times before.
That's it. And it's not just about, reminiscing about the good old days or anything. It's about recognizing patterns.
Okay?
Seeing how certain challenges kind of keep recurring
Hmm.
and noticing how we've responded to them in the past.
So it's like studying the playbook of our own lives.
Yeah, I like
So we
that.
can recognize the plays that keep coming up,
The patterns.
the
Yeah.
patterns, and learn how to respond to them more effectively.
He also encourages us to, look to history,
Okay?
see how people in the past have dealt with similar challenges. He points out that the whole court of Hadrian and the whole court of Antonina, the whole court of Marcus, and all such are the same drama, only with different actors.
So he's saying that human nature hasn't really changed all that much.
It hasn't.
We're still dealing with the same
Same struggles,
fundamental challenges, yeah.
just in different forms.
Just in different contexts.
Right, exactly.
So by studying history, we can learn from the wisdom of those who came before us.
We can.
We could see how they navigated challenges and how they made decisions,
Yeah.
how they lived their lives.
It's like having this whole team of mentors from across time,
Yeah.
guiding us along the way.
But how does this actually help us in our own lives?
Well, it gives us a sense of perspective, It reminds us that we're not alone
Okay.
in our struggles.
Okay.
That others have faced similar challenges and they found ways to overcome them. It can be really comforting to know that even emperors struggled
Yeah.
with a lot of the same things
Yeah.
that we do today.
Yeah. So
Because-
so it's not just about, learning from the past.
No.
It's about recognizing our shared humanity.
Yes.
Our connection to those who came before us.
Exactly. And it can also help us to detach from our own ego a little bit.
Okay.
See our problems in a larger context when
Oh.
we realize that our individual dramas, they're just a small part
Yeah.
of this much larger story.
The grand scheme of things.
It can be easier to,
Yeah.
let go of anxiety
Go with some of that worry.
and focus on what really matters.
It's like zooming out from a close-up shot
Yeah.
to a wide-angle view.
Exactly.
Right? We can see the bigger picture and recognize that our own problems, while they're real,
Yeah.
they're not the center of the universe.
That's a great way to put it. And this ties back to that Stoic concept of amor fati,
Okay.
which is love of fate.
Okay.
It's about embracing everything
Everything.
that happens to us, good and bad, as part of, the grand tapestry of life.
So it's not about, denying the reality of our
Yeah.
struggles or
Yeah.
pretending that everything is perfect.
No, not at all. It's about accepting the good with the bad,
Yeah.
recognizing that both are essential parts of being Vian.
And that's where Stoicism can be so liberating.
It can.
It doesn't, offer us a way to avoid pain or hardship.
It doesn't, no, but it gives us a framework
Okay.
for facing those challenges
Okay.
with courage and grace,
Okay.
and even finding meaning
Meaning.
and purpose in them.
So it's not about, becoming immune to life's ups and downs.
Right.
But it's about learning to ride the waves with more skill
With more skill, yes.
and resilience.
And resilience, exactly. And that's a pretty powerful message, wouldn't you say?
It is.
It's a message that resonates just as strongly today as it did back in the time of Marcus Aurelius.
It's a message that I think we could all use a little more of in our lives.
For sure.
So we've been talking about this amor fati, this love of fate, and how it can help us kind of navigate the ups and downs of life.
It can.
With more resilience.
Yeah.
You see, it seems like a radical concept.
It is.
It's this idea of embracing everything that happens to us.
The good, the bad.
The good and the bad.
Yeah, all of it.
Even the tough stuff.
Yeah.
How do we actually put that into practice?
That's the $1,000,000 question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's easy to say love your fate when things are going great.
Right.
But what about when you're facing real challenges?
Yeah, loss, disappointment, those things.
Exactly.
How do we love our fate then?
Well, and that's really what Stoicism is all about. It's not about denying
Okay.
the reality of pain and hardship.
Yeah.
It's not about pretending that everything is perfect.
Right.
It's about recognizing that
Yeah.
challenges,
Yeah.
they're just an inevitable part of life.
Okay.
Just like, joy and success.
So it's about shifting our perspective, right? seeing challenges
Yeah.
not as roadblocks, but as opportunity.
Opportunities.
Yeah, to grow and to learn.
Exactly. And that's where the Stoic emphasis on virtue comes in again.
Yeah.
Virtue is that ultimate good.
Right.
It's about aligning our actions with reason and nature,
Mm-hmm.
striving for excellence in everything we do,
Okay.
contributing to the common good.
So even when we're facing those difficult circumstances,
Mm-hmm.
we can still choose.
We can always choose.
Yeah, to act virtually.
It's like having that inner compass, guiding us through the storms,
Yeah.
helping us make choices
Mhm.
that align with our values even when it's hard.
Exactly. And that's where this amor fati
Yeah.
becomes such a powerful concept, right?
It does.
When we can embrace everything
Everything.
that happens, the good and the bad,
Mm-hmm.
as part of this larger purpose,
Yeah.
it becomes easier to face those challenges with courage and grace.
It really does. You said it beautifully before. It's like saying
Yeah.
yes to the whole experience of life, the ups, the downs, the joys, the sorrows,
Yeah.
It's all part of it.
It all contributes to
Yeah.
who we are.
To who we are.
We're becoming.
I think that's what Marcus Aurelius is really trying to get across
Oh.
in this final book. He wants us to understand life as a journey.
Okay.
And that journey, it includes smooth sailing. It
Right.
includes rough seas.
But it's in those rough seas, right?
Yeah.
Those challenging moments
Mm-hmm.
that we have the opportunity to really test ourselves.
We do.
To develop our character.
Absolutely.
To grow.
It's where we grow the most.
It's like those Stoic exercises you were talking about before.
Yeah.
The negative visualization,
Mm-hmm.
the reflecting on our past experiences.
Yeah.
They help us prepare for those rough seas so we can weather those storms more effectively.
And it's in those moments of challenge that we really have the chance to practice those Stoic virtues,
The wisdom, the justice,
wisdom, justice, courage.
courage, temperance. So it's not just about passively accepting whatever happens.
Oh, no.
It's about
active.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actively engaging with those challenges.
Yeah.
Using them as opportunities to strengthen our character.
To become more virtuous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Stoicism such a powerful philosophy
Yes.
for life, right? It doesn't,
It doesn't give us, all the answers,
Right.
a way to avoid pain,
Yeah.
but it gives us this framework
Okay.
for facing these challenges
Mm.
with resilience and wisdom and even, a sense of humor.
Because let's face it, life can be
Oh,
pretty
absolutely.
absurd sometimes.
Yeah.
And if we can't laugh at ourselves and
Yeah.
the absurdity of it all,
Then
then
what are we doing?
what's the point, right?
I think that's a good place to wrap up
Yeah.
our exploration of this book.
Yeah.
Even in these final reflections on death and virtue and all this, Marcus Aurelius, he never loses sight of the importance of finding joy
Yeah.
and humor.
Finding the humor in life. So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have,
in
yeah.
our deep dive into book 12.
We have, yeah.
From accepting death to embracing virtue
Mhm.
to practicing this amor fati.
It's been quite a journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Through some deep philosophical concepts.
Yeah. What I appreciate most about it is how practical
Oh yeah,
these ideas are.
They are.
They're not just these abstract theories.
No.
They're tools
tools. Yeah,
that we can use in our own lives to face challenges
absolutely.
with more resilience,
Yes.
to cultivate a deeper sense of meaning and purpose.
And that's the beauty of Stoicism.
Yeah.
It's a philosophy that's timeless.
Mm-hmm.
And it's timely. It gives us this guidance and wisdom that's just as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago.
So as we wrap up our exploration of meditations, I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
What is one area in your life where you could
Yeah.
embrace this amor fati, where you could lean into a challenge and really practice those Stoic virtues?
Yeah, good question.
What's one simple step you can take today to really put these ideas into practice?
Something to think about,
Yeah.
because as Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts.
Thank you for joining us
Yeah, thanks everyone.
on this deep dive into Stoic wisdom. We hope you've gained some valuable insights and some practical tools.
some tools for your toolbox.
Yeah, to navigate your own
Life's journey.
yeah, life's journey. Remember, as we've learned from Marcus Aurelius,
Yeah.
this journey of self-discovery and growth, it's an ongoing process.
It is.
And one that we can approach with courage, with wisdom, and with a sense of amor fati.
Well said.
All right, until next time.
Take care.